episode 2 of the exchange. We're changing things up a little bit. We're modifying, evolving, growing together. I am headed currently to my friend Killer Cam's house. For the next vehicle, we're gonna exchange. Obviously, there's no secret there because you can see from the thumbnail, it is a ZL1. Vlog style is kind of my vibe anyway, so we'll continue to evolve the channel with you guys' suggestions. Obviously, I can't do everything you all ask, but this is one of the things I was debating back and forth when I was deciding how to structure the show, whether to shoot it vlog style or not. And honestly, if you know me in person, you know I basically vlog a bunch of stuff anyways. So if the people are requesting that this be somewhat more like the way I shoot my my IG stuff, then that's what we'll get. Big pops. We're on our way to see Killer Cam, like I said. We'll see you soon. Pulling up on your boy, Cam. Running late as usual. Oh, he pulled her out for us. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Hey. Alright. Let's pull up right here. See if Cam's ready for us. I think he is. What up? It's Killer Cam. What's up?
You want to hear it?
Yeah, so this is Killer Cam's other vehicle, his 7 Series, which he's done something to the muffler. So let's hear what this sounds like. I'm hearing it for the first time today. Bruh. That is so ridiculous. Louder is always better. Dope.
It's not done yet. It's not done.
Dope. How you feeling? You feeling all right?
I'm feeling good, man.
All right. I'm feeling beautiful. I'll feel even better once we get to drive this thing right here.
I mean, yours is better, but...
Nah. Nah. There's no better or worse, honestly. This is just a different animal. Look at this thing.
That's fair.
And he got it all clean for us. That's really exciting.
I did.
He got it all clean.
An hour watching it.
I mean,
detail,
it looks, wow, it looks fantastic. Brand spanking new. Yes, please. Let's show the people what you're working with. Right. I like that you're matching the shirt. Ooh, you can even see the suns. That's how you know it was just clean for us. Rotofab?
Yeah, just the Rotofab.
Yeah.
Everything else is stock blower, stock pulleys.
I mean, stock is enough. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
These things make power.
Yeah.
She's
been fun.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, we've come along. Actually, let's get to.
Should we start from the beginning?
Let's get to starting where Cam actually started out. Our relationship is actually really...
It's hilarious.
It's a hilarious relationship.
It's been about 3 years now,
man. Yes.
3 years.
When I first met Cam, he had a V6 Camaro. And Cam...
the base model.
Cam's question to me was, how do we make this thing fast? And what did I tell you? What did I say to you? I said...
Buy a V8.
There you go.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it and buy a V8. I mean, that's not to say that you can't make V6s fast. It's just, honestly, you're getting a V6 to really to bridge a gap, right? Yeah. And if you want to go fast, you should probably buy the V8. And if you're going to buy the V8, this is the V8 to get. So we work together quite a bit. Yep. We develop a friendship, and then he's back with a V8. And he's like, hey, I got the SS. And I'm like, okay, that's nice that you got the SS.
One SS. Base model, everything.
Hey, listen, it still got the V8.
Yeah, exactly.
So he actually did what I asked, which is great. And so he's like, how do we make it fast? I'm like, you want to go fast, or you want to like...
you just want it relative, especially to this guy. Especially to
now he's sounding like me. That's great. fast is relative. I say that literally all the time because obviously, you know, that thing is fast, but this is like fast, and that thing is fast. Everything's fast, you know, depending on where you're at. You know, we just reviewed the Honda S2000, and most Honda guys would say that's really fast.
Right.
But compared to something like this, I mean, come on, it's like night and day. So skip to the SS.
Full exhaust.
Tell us more about it.
That's the first thing we did. Full exhaust. We had an X pipe on it. NBRP quad tips.
Yeah.
I deleted my secondary cats.
Of course.
And it sounded great.
Sounded
amazing.
Sounded great.
I think the second thing we did was the GM intake. Just to, you know, let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Third thing we did, performance wise,
was the headers, basically, right?
Yeah, we did. We ported the intake manifold.
Yeah, that's true.
Ported the throttle body.
Yeah.
And then once I was ready to tune,
yes,
this guy dropped in my headers.
Listen, let's put headers on it. If we're gonna tune the car, we gotta do headers. Right. So we did headers.
I got the flex fuel kit.
Yeah.
Took it upstate to tune it.
Yep.
And she made good power. She sounded really, really good with those headers.
Really aggressive. Yeah. Aggressive
People thought the car was cammed.
Yes. It sounded great. Yeah. It sounded great. And it made decent power. So, you know, Cam always hits me up. He's like, hey, Mike, what do you think about this? And I'm always like, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Whatever it is, do
Literally,
it.
He's never told me no.
Whatever bad idea you have, go ahead and do it. So he hit me up. He's like, dude, I've seen this ZL1. I'm like, stop talking to me. Go get it. That's essentially what you wanted anyways. You know, we were building the SS to kind of challenge these. Right. If you have the opportunity to just skip the steps and have a warranty and have something that you won't really need to modify. Now, everybody says that, but obviously
in about a year,
we're going to get there, but you know, you don't necessarily need to modify, especially not right away.
Right.
Then that's the way to do it. And here she is in all her glory. The first thing he said to me is like, nah, man, I'm not going to do nothing. And then next thing you know, he's like, dude, I'm just going to put an intake on it. Like, obviously, I'm just going to put an intake on it. And I mean, it's a slow process, but eventually, here's what usually happens.
These things are expensive.
I mean, they are. All fun stuff's expensive. That's how it goes. But yeah, so we're going to trade off today. This is our second episode. I thought this would be apropos because this is the diametric opposite of the Honda S2000. This is a blunt force instrument that's got like ballet shoes on, but it's still like a gorilla in ballet shoes. Like, you know what I mean? You know, it's got all the strength to do all this stuff, but like, can she dance? Who knows? You know what I mean? I think. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Here you go, sir.
Here you go.
Pow! Keys to the Camaro, baby.
I got it. Skyline.
It is the next day. This thing is right next to my E55 AMG in good company. Oh, yeah. We are in Cam's 2017 ZL1, the big daddy of them all. It makes zero excuses for what it is. Everything about the car screams aggression, screams performance, from the styling of the front to the rear, everything. The front has a wide gaping grille, you know, with all the vents and all the cooling ducts for your intercoolers up front. The rear has the quad tips, like everything, the side skirts, everything about the car screams exactly what you think it's going to do. It is mean, it's nasty, it's angry, and it makes no apologies for it. And I love that. You know, you don't have to dress the car up in any kind of way. It's already giving enough attitude. It's already saying enough with just standing still. It looks fast and aggressive just standing still. And I love that. So let's go through some of the stats real quick. 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque. Ridiculous. Out of a supercharged 6.2 liter V8 called the LT5. I mean, it is a lot of power. Made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. I'm not a huge fan of automatics. We know that. But the 10-speed in this car is something special. This car's got the MagneRide in it, which means you can set your damping. The way you set your damping is with this button here. You have 4 settings. That is Tour, which is comfort, basically. Then you have Sport, which is a little more aggressive. Sport is self-explanatory. Then you have Track, and then you have Ice and Snow, for obviously inclement weather. All of those actually have They're not just buttons you press and nothing happens. Those have a visceral reaction in these cars, especially in the ZL1. You can definitely feel how stiff the suspension is when you go from tour to sport down to track. You can also feel that in your throttle response and your transmission shifts. They're a lot quicker when you're in track mode. I described this car yesterday as a gorilla in ballet shoes, and I say that not to insult the car, but essentially what these things are the same old formula back in the day. Big motor up front, rear wheel drive setup, put an automatic transmission in it, step on it and go. The thing that's changed over time is people want a little more than something that goes fast in a straight line. They want cars to handle a little well. So, you know, over time, GM, Chrysler, Ford, they've all done things to their muscle cars to kind of dress it up, to help mitigate all the heft. This has got independent rear suspension helping out quite a bit. You need to be able to move the rear axle independently of each other. To have a live rear axle is fun to slide around on, but it doesn't handle well because whatever this side does, the other side wants to do because they're actually linked together. If they can move independently of each other, you then certainly have a chance. You can't mitigate it being such a brawny, big girl, but at least now she's got some dancing shoes on and she can kind of move a little bit. She's still a gorilla, a really scary, angry gorilla that's gonna bite your face off and throw it out. But at least she's got some dancing shoes on. These Recaro seats are so comfortable. They are big, they're spacious. I mean, I'm a big dude and I am comfortable. You know, in the S2000, just to compare and contrast real quick, in the S2000, it had really good seats, but for a long trip, for a guy my size, I definitely, you know, by hour 2, I'm probably a little comfortable. The seats in this are like a couch that hugs you, and you can probably be here. They're heated and cooled. You can probably be in here for 10 hours and not feel anything. You set them the way you want, and you will, especially with this automatic, you set them the way you want, and you can lounge in here, drive 10 hours, no problem. You'll have 0 issues. They are so comfortable. I can't even stress that enough. Obviously, everything in here, touch-wise, nice Alcantara everywhere, which is like a suede material. It's over the steering wheel, which is real nice in the hand. It's grippy. I'm here on the passenger side, on the door sills. I love the red stitching everywhere. The car itself is far away from analog as you get. You know, the power steering rack is electronic. The transmission is on automatic. The car's thinking for you sometimes, especially when you have the aids on, and it's trying to keep you away from danger. But at any point, you know, you've got the power to get groovy, and it's nice to know that you have the power. It is Brutus. It is a serial killer. It is the gorilla I was talking about, trying to rip your face off. I'm going to put us in track mode, and immediately our steering wheel feels a little bit different. I can feel the bumps in the road, and I like it. Traction control all the way off. Do not do this. Here we go. I am not speechless often. Whoa, it's a lot of power. And this is why people get in trouble with these things. I mean, the power is I'm in 6th gear, right? And I'm gonna floor it. And already we're doing things that don't make sense. This, like, it, whew. Sheesh. 10/10. Literally takes all of my attention all the time to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. I'm thinking for everybody in front of me. I'm modulating the throttle even when I'm in it, making sure that I'm actually pointing it where I want it to go, and never forgetting that this wild animal can rip my face off at any moment. In the S2000, although I have to be paying attention, I don't feel like it's trying to kill me the whole time. The S2000 is such an analog, underpowered car to somebody that's used to big, high horsepower cars like this, that it makes it simple to drive that car fast and have a good time doing it. This car lulls you into this false sense of security because all the computers are here and all the computers are supposed to be helping you out. But because it's got so much power, because it's got all of these, everything, if you don't respect the chassis, if you don't respect the power, and you just give it everything at an odd time, you will wrap it around a pole. You can be in second gear and be way over 100 miles an hour in this car. Way over. That is nuts crazy. I love it. I love that kind of power. I love something that's scary and trying to kill me. I love all that. But I'm also always very respectful of high-powered cars. I'm oddly aware that the same thing that's bringing you joy can literally snatch it away in 5 seconds, and that's the end of it. What in the world? What in the world, man? Like, you guys thought I was cooking with grease in the S2000? That was moving. That was moving just then. I was moving, guys. I was moving. That 1-2 shift is so stupid and so fast. I mean, subsequently, they're quick, but that 1-2 shift is really where this transmission is like nuts crazy. Now, I will say this, the time between when you hit this and it shifts, the shift itself is quick, but there is a slight delay, and I mean it's ever so slight, but enough that if you've ever driven a dual clutch car, it feels like forever. In a dual clutch car, you almost are sitting on the transmission going like, bam, right there, boom, right there. Hey, I've asked for it, I'm already there. Hey, I've asked for it, I'm already there. It's almost like slam shifting a manual transmission versus speed shifting a manual transmission. That's almost the difference. And I mean, obviously, a manual transmission, no matter how fast you shift it, is always going to be slower than a dual clutch. It's always going to be somewhat slower than these. But the difference is the immediacy of pushing this or pushing this back and it shifting. Once it shifts, the shifts are fast. They are very, very fast. You almost cannot tell the difference between how fast this is shifting versus an actual dual clutch car. But man, that is nitpicking this car's transmission to smithereens. It is fast. The car itself is fast. The transmission itself is very, very fast. And I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm also rolling into the power and not just slamming my foot like I was with the S2000. There's a reason for that. These tires on this car are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. They're decent tires and they work well when they've been heat cycled. When they have heat in them, they are great. When they don't, this car is Spin City. That's what this car is. It is Spin City. First gear is completely useless. Second gear, forget about it. Third, we're starting to talk about something. Third, fourth, fifth, now we might be in power. But by then, you're already kind of all over the road. And if you don't know how to handle something that's gonna do that, then problems. As I calm down and drive the car, you know, what would be considered normally more civilized, you almost cannot tell that lurking behind my right foot is a ferocious animal. And that's the cool thing about modern cars, about modern fast cars, is you can almost have the best of both worlds, especially as the car is stock. You almost can have both. It is a comfortable cruiser, decent on gas for what it is. Obviously, when you drive it like this, you let the automatic transmission do its thing and bang out the gears and leave you in, you know, 10th or whatever gear it's in now. You can't hear it. It's not making all the music. It's just a normal two-seater vehicle that's a little bit harsh. I mean, obviously, you are talking about a car that's kind of meant to go fast, and that's really nice because most people aren't looking for the most hardcore vehicle. They're not looking for something that's going to make them uncomfortable all the time as though they're on a racetrack. Most people are looking for a Swiss Army knife, something that can do it all, and the ZL1 definitely does it all. It has the looks, it's got the performance, it's got the comfort. It's a Swiss Army knife, an angry, ferocious Swiss Army knife. Getting to drive this thing has been such a fun time. I just spoke to Killer Cam. He's ready. I'm ready to go get my R32. I guess we'll pick this back up when we get there. All right, so we made it back. Cam, how was it?
I mean, it was about as great as you could imagine it would be. I mean, nah, it was a really fun car to drive.
Yeah. How was it being on the other side?
On the other side, it's definitely something to get used to. I found myself drifting to the other lane a lot.
Yeah.
But once you ride in it and realize that, look, I'm on the other side, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. And this thing, I mean, you all have seen the video. He hasn't yet. Go see the video.
How was it?
Dude, it was, I want to curse, so I won't. It was boatloads of fun.
Okay.
Boatloads of fun. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, it just gives me Corvette vibes. You know, the Z06 is down and out now. This thing made me miss it so much. Power everywhere, just like a scary monster to drive. And I like a scary monster. I like a monster that's trying to rip my face off. There's a psychopath in the back of my mind that's like, yeah, that's fun. So like, it's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Dude, that
was an experience.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
To have that being like, you know, a childhood kind of, it was just nostalgia everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
And the reactions were priceless.
I'm sure.
The reactions were priceless.
Everybody freaks out. Everybody has a good time with those things, man. It's just, it's time to trade back, obviously. Let me see if I have your keys here. I'm sure you nope. That's the keys to something else. Well, that's the keys to something else.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Okay. So, here you go.
And here is yours.
Oh, yes. If you had a good time watching, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, do all the things, you know, the ding bell, all that fun stuff. If you have a car like this and you want to be part of the exchange, my information is down below. It's Micro Machines on Instagram. You can DM me there. You can put a message down here. You have to be in the DMV area. Obviously, it makes things a little easier to do. But yeah, if you're looking to be part of the show, reach out to me. Let's work something out. We'll see you next time on The Exchange.